At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners. News is brought to you in part by One Nevada Credit Union, where right now you can refinance your auto loan with rates as low as 2.98% and no payments for 90 days for qualified members. Call us today for details. News is also brought to you by Capriotti Sandwich Shop, located in the Pahrump Nugget Casino. Call us at 775-751-3354 to order ahead. News is also brought to you by Hope Counseling Services, where we specialize in behavioral health, inspiring hope for a brighter tomorrow. Call 775-727-0101 for more information.
Tonight on News 46, never forget 11 years after the attacks on the United States.
A flag retirement ceremony in honor of September 11th.
And the Pahrump Nugget donates school supplies to a local elementary school. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Zach Fuentes and Deanna O'Donnell. News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
And good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, September 11th, 2012. I'm Zach Fuentes.
And I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
Today, 7th anniversary of attacks on the World Trade Center in New York, the Pentagon near Washington, D.C., and Flight 93 that crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Today, for the first time since the horrific attack Tuesday morning, September 11, 2001, in which 19 al-Qaeda terrorists hijacked 4 passenger jets, killing 2,977 people, the New York Times, the New York Post, the Wall Street Journal were among the New York papers that did not have a 9/11 story on their front page. The new public editor from the New York Times says, "The pain, the outrage, the loss, these never fade. The amount of journalism, however, must. With all tragedies, the amount of media coverage always fades." The Associated Press led its piece on the anniversary, saying that there was a sense in the country that it's time to move forward after a decade of remembrance. No public officials were scheduled to speak at Ground Zero. Still, many flocked to the location for a ceremony to honor those we have lost.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue has decided to have an internal ceremony today and not do their usual ceremony that they used to hold in the morning time here at Station 1 on Highway 160 and Basin Avenue. But they did bring out the tower ladder truck and proudly displayed the American flag for those who would like to stop by. Inside Station 1 is a piece of the Twin Towers for the public to see. Get a chance to stop by Station 1 and right inside the lobby there, take a look at the metal remains from the Twin Towers. Now, Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were able to get this tower ladder truck. It came directly from the fire department in New York, went to Canada to get refurbished, and we proudly use it here in Pahrump.
President Obama said today that the 9/11 anniversary is always a difficult day, but the United States has emerged stronger in the 11 years since the terrorist attacks on New York City and the Pentagon. Painful as this day is and always will be, it leaves us with a lesson that no single event can ever destroy who we are. This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And after a lengthy delay, the 1,776-foot-tall One World Trade Center is expected to be completed at Ground Zero in New York by 2013.
And we'll be back with much more local news after these messages.
Join us at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino with the #1 gaming experience and entertainment. The Pahrump Nugget has the #1 dining experience at Stockman Steakhouse, Golden Harvest Cafe, and the Gold Miners Buffet. Come get your game on at the Pahrump Nugget Hotel and Casino.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Children's Dentistry of Pahrump, specializing in sedation dentistry, now accepting adult patients. Call now for free IV sedation with dental implant, 751-2184.
Welcome back to News 46. A flag retirement ceremony is being held today until dusk in honor of September 11th.
The flag code simply says that when an American flag can no longer be a proper representative of its nation, it should be retired, preferably by the process of burning. Anything else that you've seen are traditions or ceremonies that have been put together. What we do at the VFW is a combination of about 10 or 12 different ceremonies, including Boy Scout rituals, Native American priests and medicine men, the VFW coming forth and speaking out what 9/11 meant to them. And then the biggest highlight, and has been for years, is at the end of the day, we have a young man in a Boy Scout uniform in front of a large crowd play taps. And there's not a dry eye in the place. And this year really went over well because of the biggest turnout, 50-50, 50% youth and 50% adults. And the young people really were into it.
How many flags have you retired since Saturday?
Right now I'm over 1,100. At the rate I'm going with what I have left, we're going to go over 1,200 this year.
These aren't just American flags, but all sorts of flags.
We retire predominantly American flags. Somewhere they estimate 80 to 85%. We retire POW flags. We retire Nevada flags. We retire flags from other states. We have flags for that have sentimental meanings to some people. We have as many branches of service flags that get put in. And normally the vets from service will grab their branch of service and put it in. But preferably the flag retirement is the American flag. First flag in, last flag in. Anything in between is fine.
So you'll be here till dusk tonight. So if people want to run down to the VFW if they have a flag that they'd like to have properly retired.
I will be here to dusk for sure, sundown. Or if there are people that just keep coming and it needs to be left running, I'll be here to assist anyone and everybody who wants to remember 9/11.
After this date, what should a person do? Can they contact you, or do they just keep their flags until next year?
The VFW collects flags day in and day out. On the flyers and the brochures was my phone number. If they want to get my number, you can contact me, 727-9125, Pahrump number. I'm a local citizen, and I'll make arrangements if necessary, and I will be bringing them here to the VFW.
And once again, if you have a flag that you want to retire, you can come down here before dusk tonight. Otherwise, you can drop it off here at the VFW on Homestead. This is Deanne O'Donnell for News 46.
Citizens all over Pahrump donated to the Pahrump Nuggets Support Our Students event. Yesterday, Jeremy Jensen held a presentation to donate the collected items.
So we're here today because we've raised several school supplies for Support Our Students. We raised these items. All of our guests contributed over the last week. I'd like to thank all of our guests. And we reached out to PVYA to assist, and we're going to donate these items to the Mance Elementary School. So it's a very happy day for us today, as we can give these students some school supplies over the next few days. So
I think it's a great thing. Unfortunately, not every child in the district gets to go to school each year with a new set of school supplies. So this is going to come in handy for a lot of those kids and a lot of the needy kids around the community. Certainly appreciate to the visitors to Golden Gaming sites here in town.
Thank you. I'd like to thank SOS for reaching out, and also Jeff Ratchin for putting this together for us. So thank you.
The Bureau of Land Management today will begin gathering about 30 nuisance burros from the baseball diamond within the Blue Diamond community near the Red Rock National Conservation Area. The temporary bait trap will consist of a series of corral panels and hay and will be removed every evening so the community will be able to utilize the park without the panels being in the way. The nuisance burros are being gathered because they pose a safety hazard along State Route 159 and cause property damage in Blue Diamond. The gather is expected to last about 5 days. Since October 2010, at least 13 burros were killed or had to be euthanized due to vehicle collisions. Although the roadway is completely fenced, the wild burros still manage to get in the road looking for food from the tourists and locals who feed them. This encourages the wild burros to stand on and along the roadways begging for food. Feeding the animals has caused approximately 30 to 40 burros to lose their wild characteristics and normal fear of humans and vehicles. You can be fined $500 for feeding the burros.
Yeah, definitely don't feed those burros out there. It's tempting.
Yeah, it's hard.
But we'll have more local news and including a ticket giveaway, so don't go anywhere.